Hello, my name is Avi, and the application I decided to do is called Resto. It's an application to organize your favorite restaurant data. Um, so the project idea actually came from the fact that I travel a lot, and I always try to manage with the list of restaurants and where to go, and I could never find a good way to do it. So Resto simply keeps your restaurants by a zip code, and then you can easily browse between your favorite restaurants by zip code. Um, Obviously, it's the smartest way to organize a restaurant is to group it by location. So when you're in a specific location, you can see all the restaurants around you. Um, this is a class diagram for this app. So the first thing we have is the restaurant record, which is what it is, restaurant record. You have the zip code, which is also the key in our dictionary. I'll explain later. It's an integer 32. We got the name, which is a string, address string, description, which is a string, and the photo, which is NS data. Then we have the main view controller, Resto, this is how it's called. And it has a table view to show you all, table view which sections, to show you all the restaurants by section, and it handles all the fetch requests from the core data. Another important thing it has, it's the restaurants, which is basically our sort of database. It's a dictionary. The keys are the zip code, which is integer 32, and the values are restaurant record lists, which represents all the restaurants in that zip code. From that main view control, we can go to show restaurant or add restaurants. So show restaurant, when you click on the restaurant in a table view, it shows you the restaurant, which simply has all the data. So it has all the label for the zip code, description, address, and everything, the image, and also holds the current restaurants that it gets from the main view controller. So the next thing we have is the add between view controller, which basically does nothing. It's just two buttons, manually and search. And when you choose manually, you get the add restaurant view controller that has all those text fields, so you can fill in all the name, description, address, zip code. Also have a segmented control where you can choose between the camera and the photo library for the photo option, and obviously a function add photo to add the photo. The other control that you can get from the add between view controller is the search. So if you're not manually adding, you're searching. So for the searching option, you have a table view and a map. The table view and the map are both for show you the results. You can see the results on the map and you can see them on the table. So that's why we have two functions: search, that search for all the restaurants around a zip code, and show location just shows the map and the area of the map that you're supposed to see and search in. So this is the MVC diagram. First of all, we have the controller that retrieve all the restaurants, do all the map search, handle all the tables, and update the view and anything that needs to be updated in the view. Then we have the view that does display everything, display the restaurant's data in a table, displays the map and all the results on a map, and basically displays any UI item in the application. Then we got the model, which is pretty straightforward. Loads from the core data and it saves to the core data, and it represents a restaurant and all the fields that we talked previously. So the capabilities. The main screen of the application basically is this. It's a table with restaurants ordered by zip code. So you can see on the zip code 85258, you have Sweet Provisions, and on 85251, you have this Virtue restaurant. And you simply see all the restaurants on this view. So when you choose a restaurant from the table view, you can see all the restaurant's details, which is the name on the title. You have the zip code, you have the image that you chose for the restaurant, some details, and a full address. This is the search screen. So once you click the add button and you get to to choose if you want manually or search, I didn't show that screen because it's just a screen with two buttons. Once you hit search, you get this screen where you enter the zip code, and then you can see a map with the region you're in with the restaurants in that region. Below that, you can see the results on a table view with just the names of the restaurants. And once you click a restaurant from the results, you get this screen, and all the fields are pre-filled basically. Now this is the same screen you would get if you would choose manually. You would get the same screen, just completely empty, and you need to fill all the fields. But if you choose restaurants from the search screen, you get to this screen with all the data filled for you except for the photo, because I can't retrieve a photo and you need to choose your own photo. But you get the description from that, and you get the address and you get everything. So limitations on our applications. So basically the original plan was to have more stuff. The first stuff was show menu option using Open Menu API, and I started doing that. It's not very complicated. It's just an API call like we did on the labs, but I quickly found out that there's a price for every API call, something like 2 cents. So I decided to give that idea up because of the cost. Another feature I was supposed to have was to expand the section that you're in. So if you're in Scottsdale, for example, and your zip code is 85260, it would expand that section of the table and show you the restaurants on 85260. I was sure it's a simple task, and maybe it is, but I couldn't do it, and I also decided to not do it because of time limitations, and I couldn't figure it out, and I had a lot of other issues coming up because of it, so I decided not to do it. But it's a nice feature that should definitely be in the app. The third limitation is that there's no verification for manually adding a restaurant. So you can basically do whatever you want. You can fill in whatever you want in the fields, even if it's not a real address, even if it's not a real restaurant, and it will let you add that, which obviously is a problem. You want to verify every restaurant that the user adds to your application. So the lesson I learned are from the stuff I couldn't do actually at the end. I learned the most of. And so the first thing, actually the first thing is I didn't have any chance to work with table view with sections. On class labs didn't include that, so it was a good exercise to make one. And although I couldn't do to get the menu using Open Menu API, I learned a lot about how to do stuff like that. My research took me to places to understand the different calls and how to make them and what kind of data you can get and how to process JSON, stuff like that. I learned a lot about that, and I think it's also useful in other fields, not just mobile application development. I think you can use that in any other field in computer science, any other programming language, if it's web, if it's Android, if it's any other application you're making. And I also learned how to create custom views. I wish I could add something to the application, but there's a way to create custom views and design it, and it's very interesting. I need more practice with it. So extra suggestions for improvement. The first thing is to use Google Places API or Yelp API. The reason is that you get more accurate data back than the MK local search. You get stuff like the menu, photos, reviews, stuff like that that can add a lot to the application. The second thing is to detect the current zip code and expand that section on the table while rest of sections are hidden, which means if I'm on, let's say, 85260 zip code, I only want to see that section expanded. The rest should be, minimized, and I shouldn't be able to see the restaurants. The third thing I would improve is to open the restaurant's website if possible. You also get the URL from the MK local search, and you can use that to just open that on Safari or whatever you choose. Also, I wish I could auto retrieve a photo when searching for restaurants. Again, you probably should use Google Places or Yelp API that provides such photo in a very simple way. And the last thing is to generally improve the UI. I think it's not very pretty. Could be better. That's it.